Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are so privileged to be hosting an amazing guest, Ruth Njeri, who is going to talk to us about self-identity. Welcome, Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Beatrice.
Tell us more about yourself.
Okay, my name is Ruth. I am a counseling psychologist by profession. I am very passionate about helping people overcome the emotional and the psychological challenges that normally hinder people from achieving their full potential.
Wow.
Yes.
I like the part of introduction where you say, what you're passionate about.
Oh, yes.
You know, most of us forget what is it that we are passionate about.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
elaborating that. So today we are talking about self-identity. What is self-identity?
Okay.
Yes.
So self-identity is the image. We can simplify it that way by saying it is the image that you have about yourself. The image that you have about your personality, your traits, your abilities, your likes, your dislikes, your moral values and moral systems. So it is that package that you come in as a person. That is how we can simplify it. Self-identity.
Self-identity.
Yes.
How you see yourself?
Yes.
Or is it how about other people see you?
It's how you see yourself. How you see yourself is very important. Because if you are not able to define yourself as a person, you are likely going to allow other people to define you, and their definition of you may not be accurate. So it is important to have a strong self-identity so that even as you walk out into the world, you already know who you are.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Kujijua.
Kujijua. Yes.
Wow.
So knowing who you are helps you to live a purposeful life. And living a purposeful life is important because it helps you to be authentic to who you truly are. It helps you to be able to form true and satisfying relationships, which contribute positively to your mental health and sense of well-being. So it is important to have a strong sense of identity because it helps you to live an authentic life. People who don't have a strong sense of identity tend to drift through life. They're easily swayed away from one direction to another. So once you have a strong sense of identity, you are grounded.
Wow.
So you're not easily swayed away by what people say and what people think.
And when you're talking about that healthy kind of relationships and drifting,
Yes.
something came to mind about how we can be empty. We are living, things are just happening.
Yes.
But because we don't have, then there's a level of emptiness.
Yes. And you realize that some people live their lives feeling empty, feeling helpless. They don't know what direction they should take in life because they have never taken the time to sit with themselves and ask, so who am I? What are my abilities? What is my personality like? What is my moral code?
Yes.
What are my values? How should I take the direction of life? So they end up following people, trying different things, but they never get the feeling. You know, that feeling where you feel you are fulfilled, you are living purposefully.
Wow.
So develop your own strong sense identity.
Yes.
Live purposefully.
Yes.
Live authentically. Be true to who you are as a person. Be authentic.
Wow.
Be true.
Be true.
Be true to who you really are. Then you live a very purpose-filled and a happy life.
Wow.
Yes.
And how then can we know whether we have self-identified, whether we have that self-identity? How can we get to know whether we are there?
I think one of the questions you should ask yourself is, why do you do the things you do? Are you the kind of a person who does things just to please others? The kind of a person who will say yes to something which they really wouldn't want to say yes to, but because someone has asked you to do that thing, you do it.
Yes.
But then you realize you are very resentful because that is not what you'd have wanted to do. But because you don't want this person to become angry, so you just find yourself doing things to please others. So if you're the kind of a person that has a difficulty saying no, then you may realize that you have a weak sense of self-identity. Because no is normally a complete answer. It doesn't require justification. So you have to explain yourself so that someone doesn't take you wrongly, someone doesn't misunderstand you, and that tells you are not properly grounded. You find pleasing others and just flowing with them as the thing that you want to do.
So you're saying just say no without explanations.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to say no. It doesn't flow with me. It's not in my moral code. It's not one of those things that I want to do. Or even with money.
Yes.
There are people who will give and give and give and give, even when they don't have enough for themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So they realize, I've given so much, I've been left with nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So they tend up becoming resentful towards the person that they were giving to. Instead of it bringing joy, it brings resentment.
Wow.
Yes, because they want to please.
Yeah.
If you're a people-pleasing person, if that is how you find yourself running your life, just people-pleasing, at the expense of your own happiness, at the expense of your own fulfillment, the expense of your own needs, then something should tell you that there's something right there that we need to work on.
Wow.
The other thing that can tell you have a sense strong of identity is, are you able to identify your strengths? Because people who have a weak self-identity normally tend to maximize on their weaknesses and underrate their strengths.
Yeah.
So are you comfortable in your strengths? And are you the kind of a person who has faith in the ability to use your strengths towards a goal? If you have a strong sense of self, you're able to identify what your strengths are, and you have faith in your ability to use those strengths to be able to achieve your goals. So the other way that you can know whether you have a strong sense of identity is to be able to identify the things that make you happy. There are people who don't know how their internal processes work.
Yes.
They find themselves in situations that make them feel terrible, but they're unable to pinpoint exactly what about this situation or this person makes me feel so uncomfortable, feels off with me.
Yeah.
So if you have a strong sense of identity, you should be able to monitor. You have taken time to monitor your internal processes, to know this situation makes me feel off. Why? Is there anything that I can do about it? This person makes me feel off, or this person really feeds into my soul.
Can't hack them.
Yes. So there are some people that you just know, this one I can't hack, not my type. Maybe they don't agree with your moral code, your value system.
Yeah.
They're not going where you are going.
Or they leave you with a bitter taste.
Yes, or they leave you with a bitter taste. Yes, they leave you with a bitter taste in the mouth.
Yeah.
So you spend time with this person, then you realize, I feel drained. Instead of feeling enriched, you feel drained.
Yeah.
So you should be able to understand the things that bring you joy and feed yourself on those.
An internal process.
Yes, internal process. It's important for someone to be able to develop a strong sense of identity, to be able to manage or follow their internal processes, monitor. Don't just go through life.
Yeah.
Don't just wake up and start doing things. Sit down and do some self-reflection.
Yeah.
It's important to do self-reflection at various times of your life, maybe even during the day. There are people you interact and then you're feeling apana, something is off. So you need to ask yourself, why?
Yeah.
Why does this person make me feel? Why does this situation make me feel this way? And then you fill your life with the people, situations, and resources that build you and make you feel strong.
Wow.
Yes.
And that kind of internal process,
Yes.
when you're talking about it, I'm just thinking there's so many things that influence that internal process.
Yes.
But more specifically, what can you do to build now that internal process so that you have now, you're developing that strong sense of self-identity?
A strong sense of identity has to be a deliberate effort.
All right.
It has to be a conscious effort. You don't just wake up one day and you know yourself so well, you know where you're going, you know what your values are, and everything is flowing.
Yeah.
So it has to be a conscious process. So one of the things you can do is to spend time with yourself. A lot of people are afraid of the silence that comes with being with yourself.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And we tend to listen more to what other people are saying about us other than what we are saying about ourselves. We have internal processes that should guide us through life. So it's important that you sit to yourself and ask yourself some questions. Me as so-and-so, what do I stand for?
Oh, yeah.
Study yourself. What are the things that make me tick? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? Listen to yourself more. So that even when people are coming to speak to you from the outside, you already have a standing.
Right.
You already have a standing.
Yeah.
Whereby this is me, this is how I'm grounded. So you're not easily swayed.
Yeah.
And that swaying can be very bad, especially if the people who are speaking to you are saying negative things.
Ah, right. I get you.
So that's why people go like, so you may find yourself so influenced by what your boss is saying, what your mother said, what your sister, what your friends are saying, especially if those things are negative.
Oh, yeah.
So it's important that you spend time with yourself.
Oh, spend time with me.
Spend time with you. Spend time with you. Know what your strengths are.
Yes.
And also understand that you are a whole person.
Yeah.
You're not defective.
Yes.
You may have strengths and you have weaknesses, but those are not defects. The other thing that you can do is to decide that you're going to cater for your needs. So it may sound selfish when you decide that you're going to embrace your needs and cater for them. The way we have been socialized is that we are supposed to serve. Serve other people, pour yourself out, give everything to others, all your all.
Yes.
It looks like quite a virtue. But the opposite may be true. You cannot give others from an empty cup.
You're right.
You need to be able to nourish yourself first. So cater for your needs. Know what you need to replenish yourself that you're able to serve the others. So you may have to say no, like we had said earlier, to some of the demands that people have for you, so that you replenish yourself, then you're able to go out and serve.
Absolutely.
Yes. Like they normally say, put on your oxygen mask first.
Right. In the situation
Yes, put on your oxygen mask first, because you cannot give what you don't have.
You're right.
You can't give others what is not already in you. So learn to cater for your need. Learn to replenish yourself. Learn to do those things that give you life. If it is meditation, take your time to meditate. Don't be influenced by the needs and the demands around you. Tailor your program in such a way that you have put in your program those things that serve you, those things that replenish you, those things that give you strength and joy and power for you to go out there now and be able to meet other people's needs.
Wow.
So put on your oxygen mask first. Yeah, there's also the need for you to define your value system. It's important to know what you stand for and also what you fall for.
Wow. What you stand and what you fall for.
What you stand and what you fall for.
Yes.
So that you don't find yourself doing things that you would not have wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's good to do what aligns with the values that you stand for. For example, hang out with people who have a similar value system with you. If you hang out with people whose value system is so off what you stand for, you'll find yourself doing things. Then at the end of the day, you're asking yourself, what am I doing? So spend your time doing so many things that don't fill you. You continue feeling so empty. But it's because the things that you're doing are not in alignment with what you stand for. They don't tick.
Yes.
Because you may find yourself doing things that put you into trouble. That is not what your value system stands for.
Yes.
You do things that make you, that pinch your conscience, your conscience. So it is important for you to know what your value system is all about and align your activities, allowing your friends, align your resources to feed that value system. Yes.
I get you. There is this statement in Kikuyu that talks about Musherana Mokodo.
Akodo kagota ake.
Absolutely.
Meaning good company, bad company ruins good morals, corrupts good morals.
Yes.
So if you hang around with people who are not in who are not in line with your value system, you're likely to find yourself going off.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you go off, the less authentic
Yes.
you are to yourself, the less you're likely to live a purposeful life, the less you're likely to pursue the things that really, really make you tick. Yes.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
That also brings me to that question of what are some of the things that will influence how you develop?
Okay.
Because we are saying, yes, I want a strong value system. I want to spend my time, me time, some quality me time. I want to cater for my needs.
Yes.
But what are some of those things that will influence how I build
That
into those
self-identity.
self-identity?
I think I would want to put it out that the self-identity process starts early. There's what is called the individuation process, which starts at childhood. So if a child finds themselves in a situation where they have very strict nurturers, the primary caregivers, that can really influence how that child develops their self-identity. Because every person comes with their unique abilities and talents. So if you don't allow a child to explore their world, driven by their internal systems and internal processes, you are likely to mess up with that process of developing self-identity. So it is important, even for parents, to be nurturers. In as much as we want to guide the path that our children should take, don't divert.
Let them be.
Let them be. Don't try to divert them. Because that diversion is likely to take somebody to an opposite direction, totally different
From the
from who they
individual.
are.
Yeah.
From who they are.
Yeah.
Because like we say, these are innate. It's the self. It's in you. It comes with you. So people should help you drive it to the direction it's taking, not try to divert it.
Wow. But what about some of these things that, you know, the people who like to say, but I was born like that, you know? There are some bad traits that they have, but they want to use they were born with it to get away with it.
Yes, and that is why we talked about identifying your strengths and your weaknesses. You could have very bad traits.
Yeah.
It's important for you to know how to manage those bad traits. Are they driving you to the purposeful life that you'd have wanted to live?
Right.
So if they are not,
Yeah.
you just need to drop them. Build on the strengths. Build on those things that take you towards the direction that you want to go.
Yes.
For the weaknesses, know how to manage them. Because nobody is perfect. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has weaknesses. It's important to learn how to manage.
So that they don't become an inconvenience.
Yes, and don't become an inconvenience.
To other
and
people.
don't, even to other people. We talked about relationships.
Yes.
Don't justify bad behavior
Yes.
by saying that this is who I am, this is how I was born. You can change it. If it's negatively influencing the outcomes that you'd want for your life, it's time to change it.
You're right.
Yeah, it's time to change.
And build even the same way we build capacity even in
Yes.
our everyday jobs.
Yes.
At work, you
Yes.
may not be good at something, but
Yes.
you build capacity on it.
Yes.
As an individual, you're telling us, I mean,
Yeah, you should build capacity, because even after you have identified you have strengths, you have weaknesses, your value system is this way, you have the work of continuously building on that for you to get the outcomes that you will want for yourself. Yes.
And as an individual,
Yes.
probably you can paint to us a picture
Yes.
of your key moments
Yes.
in life,
Yes.
in your life journey,
Yes.
that have influenced, you know, who you are today.
Yes.
And how you have come up to identify yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for the longest time, I didn't embrace who I am as a person. From those individuation processes that we have talked about, from how you grow up, how people view me, how people talk about me. So you may grow up thinking weaknesses are defects.
Yeah.
Weaknesses are not defects. They're not defects. Every individual is autonomous. You come with your own abilities.
Yes.
You come with your own talents and gifts. So the moment I decided to embrace that about myself, I realized I'm a strong person.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a strong personality. So I have now decided to build on what are my strengths to be able to get good outcomes. And my life has changed.
Wow.
Career progression, my social life has changed.
Yeah.
My spiritual life has changed. So there is positive growth. The moment you decide to embrace yourself,
Yeah.
things begin to happen for you.
Wow.
Yes.
Holistic.
Yes, holistic growth.
Yeah.
Because you have realized I am so and so, this is who I am,
Yeah.
this is what my strengths are, this is what I can do. I'm going to build on those.
Wow.
Yes.
And it's beautiful when you encounter someone who has actually gotten to that point of identifying or
Yes.
appreciating who they are.
Yes.
And other than in the individuation
Duation process. Yes.
what other factor
Yes.
influences how you build?
Your self-identity.
Yeah.
So one other factor that influences self-identity is the desire to fit. There are things that are considered acceptable in the society. And if you are trying to drift a bit from it, it's a no-no. So people may find themselves doing things because they are socially accepted in the society.
You're right.
Not really because they resonate with you so well, but because for you to be considered as a person of value or as a person who knows what they are doing, you find yourself doing those things. But those things may be totally off from what your value system is or from what your internal processes are telling you should do. So it is important, in as much as there are norms that are acceptable in the society and those that are not, it's important that you don't find yourself drifting so much from who you are as a person to try and fit in a certain situation. Yes.
Wow. And in the same breath
Yes.
of fitting,
Yes.
you know, we want to fit because some people have preformed us.
Yes. Yes.
Like you have grown up in a certain family
Yes.
setup,
Yes.
and there is a way your family does things.
Yes.
Probably your parents have told you must do things in a certain way.
Yes.
The people you hang around with have told you have to fit in a certain way.
Yes.
And you find yourself, actually, it's like a pressure of a kind. Forgive me, but not peer pressure, but you know, a different
family kind of pressure.
And even from the way people have spoken to us.
Yes. So families can really play a big role in how the identity of a person is formed. Like we had said, the individualization process. And maybe this is for parents. It's important for as a parent to be careful that you don't try to live yourself through your child.
Wow.
Whereby you say, this family will do this. So if your child is deviating from how you expect them to behave, then it becomes a serious problem. Because that is even how people pass bad traits through generations. Because this is how a family is supposed to behave. This is where we go. So if somebody is deviating, they become like the black sheep of the family.
You're right.
So it is important for a parent to know that that child is not you. And your responsibility as a parent is to guide.
Wow.
Of course, you don't let them run amok.
Yes.
Guide.
The parent still.
Yes, guide. But don't try to live yourself through your child.
Wow.
Don't look at your weaknesses and imagine that your child has the same weaknesses. Know that your child could be having totally different strengths, totally different weaknesses. They are not you. They are them. They have their own individual autonomous process that happens for them. So even as families say, oh, in this family we do this, in that family we do that, it's important to be careful that you don't push your child in a direction that is not authentic. Because they will never be prosperous in that area. They'll never be happy. They'll never be satisfied. What is the most important thing that a parent would want for their child? You want your child to be fulfilled. You want your child to be happy. You want your child to live purposefully. So allow them to follow their internal processes to become the things that they feel resonates well with who they are. Yes.
Wow. What a way to come to a close of our show today. The campaign is Jijue.
Yes.
So we need to identify ourselves.
Yes.
We need to know ourselves.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ruth.
You're welcome.
For being with us today.
Yes.
I'm sure our viewers have learned a thing or two.
Yes.
Please leave your comments. Let us know what you think. If there are people you would want us to host on my channel, please let me know. And please don't forget to subscribe, like my video, and see you another time. Bye bye.